Collective, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist. We're going to do your love check-in reading, energy check-in, just see how everybody's doing. I did not sleep well and had some stress, some stressors. Last couple weeks have been pretty stressful. Extra. Read all about it. You'll read about it in my memoirs. Maybe somebody's writing a memoir. Or somebody's kind of telling, oh my gosh, who am I? They're telling their life story to somebody, or somebody wants to know your life story. All right, let's tune in here. I want to use these. No? Okay. We'll use these. I don't want to use those right now. I don't know why, but I don't want to read from the Disney ones. I think that's just kind of, ooh, I'm getting the kid gloves are coming off. This is a heavy hitter. This person's very serious. This isn't a fairy tale. This is real love. But I think we don't need to read from the fairy tales because, like, we know those stories. So this is a new story. This is a story unlike anything you've ever heard. This person could be a very good storyteller. Page of Pentacles could be a masculine earth sign. Could be a younger masculine or someone who, like, this is very new to the masculine. Because the Empress is here rolling around in the shuffle. So I feel like maybe the feminine is, you know, they're better at love, you know, so to speak. It's not a competition, but it's like they're more practiced. Maybe the feminine, if it's age or experience wise, the feminine could have had more experience with love, whereas maybe the masculine was, you know, and you might, I feel like there's maybe a split opinion here, but some people say that, you know, you learn more about being in a relationship if you are in a long-term relationship. And then some people would say, well, but then you only have one version, you don't have multiple perspectives. So there's something about, like, a difference of opinion, but, like, it doesn't matter. Like, and that's not something that, it's not a deal breaker anyway. So if there is some sort of difference here, it's not a deal breaker. If there's an age difference, it's not, you know, it's all legal or something. Oh. Crimes of the future. Horse thief, the fool. Yeah, and somebody could just be more open to love than the other. Somebody's been made a fool of in past connections. And if you choose to be the fool, that's different. That's divine. That's your choice. But if somebody else makes you the fool, Judgment. This reminds me of the movie The Revenant. Maybe something you with the solar plexus, maybe listening to the solar plexus frequencies. Because I was listening to one this morning and I was kind of, it made me a little bit anxious, you know. So if you listen to them, or if you're doing aromatherapy, sometimes we have an aversion to things that our body actually needs. Like, it's like there's some sort of maybe reluctance to heal, or some sort of aversion to the very thing that you need most. That could be your interaction with this person, is like there's some sort of thing, or like, oh, I don't want that. I'm getting someone who's kind of like, what's wrong with you? Why do you love me? Why? What do you see in me? There's a movie, is it Bed of Roses? Well, it's not, that's not what I was originally getting, but an example is like in Bed of Roses where he proposes, maybe somebody's writing a poem or likes poetry or has a lot of alliteration in their name, I was going to say alliteration, like I'm thinking of the signs that have multiple letters, Sagittarius, you know. Anyway, there's a lot of alliterations, Also, somebody wants to, there's writing. There's something with writing, because I'm getting the, anyway. He proposes in front of his family. She has no family. She's an orphan, you know, maybe somebody is literally an orphan here, or feels orphaned. They could have lost a parent, and that has made them, if you lose a parent, or if you have, you know, any sort of conflict with a parent, if they're living or not, that separation from the very thing that made you, it causes this sort of, it causes low self-worth, and this sort of reluctance to accept anything getting close to you. But so she has this kind of like aversion to love. So maybe the feminine is the one with the aversion to love. A red-haired feminine, a Leo masculine, I don't know her sign. Mary Stuart Masterson. So Mary Stuart Masterson, see, there's some kind of alliteration or something. That could be in sounds or letters, or but anyway, there's something about the name. Shame, I know your name. Judgment. Ugh. Why is somebody was very, very judged, hyper judgment. So yeah, it's like they were judging themselves too, because of the judgment that they received, because of how they were received. It rhymes. This person's like, okay. Two of Cups tried to come out, and I synced it, and it tried to get back in there, and I said, no, you're coming out. That's not messing with anyone's free will, okay? Because this person they want to bring a cup of love in, but there's an aversion. They want this love so badly. King of Wands in reverse could be a masculine fire sign that is, has an adverse reaction to love, and there's strength behind it. So maybe Leo, and then Emperor with Aries, right? Queen of Swords, Page of Swords. Yeah, this is so new for the masculine. So whether there's an age difference or not, there's some sort of emotional difference where the masculine is has an adverse reaction. Now, again, that could be the feminine as well, just from Bed of Roses. You know, flip it, put the thing down, flip it in reverse. Mrs. Elliot. Are you trying to seduce me, Mrs. Elliot? Mrs. Robinson. The Graduate. Maybe somebody just graduated. Maybe this masculine is graduating, or the feminine, whichever one has this reaction. Maybe both of you have a little bit of this reaction, because maybe neither one of you. But see, we have the feminine really holding on to their cup with both hands, and this masculine's reaching for it. So the masculine will be reaching out to talk about this, to express something. The Lion here with more Leo energy, Capricorn energy as well, with the red wings. Oh, somebody. Yeah, it's like someone's just growing up. Honorary. Now red would be releasing. With the snakes here, it's that breaking of the cycle. Somebody stopped eating their own tail. And this symbol down here actually looks like the medical caduceus. Somebody could be Medusa. Ooh, this feminine, I think, turns men to stone, or masculines to stone. Ace of Swords, and then we have the Ace of Swords, which is sword in the stone. This is the underdog coming in here. So there are a lot of fascinated masculines with this feminine. Ooh, I just felt disoriented, like I didn't remember where I was. Kind of like deja vu, but also, you know, the future memory aspect. I've been here before. And then that's like Lord of the Rings. It's because we're going in circles. Scorpionic energy with the snake. That it's a Native American zodiac for Scorpio. Also, I made a meme out of that in reference to Scorpios because I'm a Taurus. That's my sister sign. This person could be your sister sign. Maybe your sister's sign, right? Virgo, Libra energy. Just from my personal experience experience with sisters. Knight of Swords. That is fast incoming communication. That's somebody coming in and they are like an underdog, and maybe they're coming in. It's almost like all these other masculines are pages of swords out there, and the one that comes forward, so feminines, if you're like, which one do I choose? How do I know? I have a lot of interested parties. And maybe your picker has been broken in the past, and you're like, I don't really trust my own judgment because I might choose somebody out of fear versus out of faith. So, not that those are opposing ideas. So yeah, this could be a polarity sign. It is your twin, it's your mirror, so it's gonna feel like that regardless. The Fool. There's that Fool. That's the choice. Somebody did not... There could be a child involved, and maybe they didn't really choose that person, but they kind of had to do it for that reason, or for cultural reasons, or just maybe they felt pressured into it. That's reminding me of Bradley Cooper and Scarlett Johansson. I believe he's a Capricorn, but I don't remember. And I'm telling you, I have the Mandela effect, because I look at and know a actor or celebrity or whatever by their sign for years, and then one day I look and I'm going through some sort of transition in my life that's associated with one major arcana over the other, and say I'm going through like a Leo season, or I'm going through my moon season, which is Cancer. I'm going through these different seasons. Maybe you guys experience this, so I feel like it just needs to be said, I guess. And so I'll be going through that season, and then I'll look at the celebrity again, because I'm like, and then they're that sign, and it's just, and then it changes around. I swear it happens. I swear it happens, and it happens frequently enough that I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. So it's like these little, somebody's sort of in this like matrix situation. But Scarlett Johansson is a November 22nd cusper. Also Jamie Lee Curtis. And this person likes the way that you move. They like the shape of your body. So feminines, maybe you don't feel that feminine, or maybe you don't feel that attractive, or maybe you're a single parent or whatever. And maybe it's been a long time since you've, really fed into your feminine energy in the 3D, because you've been doing a lot of feminine work, doing shadow work. So it's like maybe you went into a hermit mode, you did a lot of work on yourself, you've healed and transmuted a lot of that lower energy into something that was functional for you, but then you kind of forgot. You're like, oh, maybe you haven't worn makeup, or done your hair. If you are a male feminine, maybe everybody loves a pedicure, okay, don't deny it. So maybe you just weren't nurturing that side of your femininity. And masculines, yes, if you're trying to, I don't want to say coax, that sounds so manipulative, but if you're trying to attract your feminine into your space as well, that's done in 5D energy. That's feminine energy. You got feminine energy, and we all have it, feminine and masculine. So you can nurture those things. Maybe go get a massage, or go get your hair done, go to the barber, whatever, and nurture that femininity, and then that will kind of help instruct your feminine to do the same. And then when the feminine does that and honors their feminine energy, then they are in their Empress energy, and then they attract an Emperor. So anyway, there's also this sense of you two, when you come together, you're going to help each other. It's never always hyperbolic statements here. It's never always, somebody could be a little bit dramatic, that's what I'm saying. But it's never always, now I don't remember what the hell I was going to say. It's never always 50-50, okay? It's never equal parts in a relationship, in any kind of relationship. And a good friendship, you help compensate for that. You understand when your friend's feeling low, and you don't take it personally when they have to work on themselves. You just help them out in the ways that you know. There's this unspoken sort of Alison Krauss, when you say nothing at all. Also, she's not the original. I don't know who the original artist is. I can't think of it. So you're singing the same tune. Jumping around with these channels. Hopefully, it's like a train. Just my train of thought is like the one in Inside Out. Somebody could really be into psychology, or ask a lot of questions. That's very Virgo energy. Virgo is the why kid of the zodiac. They need to know why. They need to know how things work. They analyze and observe, and they're overthinkers typically because it has to be fucking perfect. And then they typically come into this world and they're challenged with that by receiving or choosing, however you view them, parents who are hypercritical. So that way that their major arcana and their greatest strength is their greatest challenge for every sign. Okay, so you think about what your greatest strength is, your greatest challenge is, or whatever. that's associated with your sign, and that is your lesson. That's your greatest lesson, is to for Libras, it's balancing, typically for feminines as well. So somebody could have, like, you could be a feminine, but you have a lot of masculine elements in your chart, or vice versa. And so maybe that's been a challenge for you to come into your truth of being a feminine and honoring, again, maybe if you don't dress that feminine, because I love that scene with Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies. See, there's like oxymorons. There's some wordplay here. I think you guys are going to have a lot of wordplay. So it's very sapiosexual. You're intellectually stimulated. And maybe you're like, oh, I'm not that smart or whatever. Stop talking about my friend that way, first of all. Second of all, it's like you're the street smarts, right? It's like, I was just talking about this with someone where it's like your diagnoses that we receive in the 3D are really spiritual, like I was going to say spiritual guides, because they are. It's like, for instance, we were talking about dyslexia, how dyslexia is, it's actually, you have a very Piscean energy. You're able to see things in a different perspective. You're usually a mirror. And so like your moon sign, it's like that part of you is activating your moon sign. You're not meant to read or see things in a very constructed way. You see things, and these are usually artistic people, ADHD, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. They compared brain scans of schizophrenics with self-proclaimed mediums, right? And they were quite comparable. The areas of the brain that are activated during those times. So these auditory hallucinations and these things that people will tell you are crazy, and then they start to medicate you very early. Maybe you experience this, and that's why I'm getting very agitated by it, because I've seen it a lot. Kids being put on Ritalin, or maybe you have a lot of fire in your chart and you were a very passionate kid and they put you in anger management, and that made you feel like you were wrong. So, okay, let's get that out. Let's get it out. Yeah, somebody's got something to say. We have the King of Wands and the Fool. More Aries energy, fire energy, Two of Wands here with the Journey. Somebody is taking a leap of faith with the Fool to take this journey. There could be water involved, right? Mountains, they're gray mountains. So maybe the area that they're coming to is, but then the sun is there, but it's like a sunset with the orange. So I'm thinking that maybe they're gonna arrive at sunset because it's kind of gray and the only light remaining is this pink sun. I had a dream Ooh, this is a vision. This person, that deja vu aspect, somebody's going to remember me. It's going to feel like a future memory. We've done this before. We're going in circles. Maybe somebody's name is Sam. Maybe somebody's name is Frodo or Elijah. Something with wood. That movie, The Wood. Is that what it's called? The Wood. I started watching it the other night. What's that other movie? Belly. I don't know. Maybe somebody with the full hair is like a belly dancer or something. Or does anybody wear belly chains anymore? But you know, there could be like I'm also getting like with this sunset here. It's the scene from Friends where Joey's like they're the Cologne cowboys or whatever. I'm seeing someone like, you know, silhouette walk off into the sunset like a cowboy or an old Western film where it's like, all right, little lady, and he walks up and you hear the ching ching of the spurs. Hopefully somebody's not wearing spurs for the reason that spurs were made. But yeah, or like change in the pocket or the keys or something. Maybe this person like jingles when they walk or jiggles. I was gonna say, buddy, buddy, don't jiggle, jiggle. It moves, moves. I don't even know the lyrics clearly. Hey, pumpkins. They did so good. I had to get an oil change done, so that meant I was walking all 4 dogs. And it's been a while since I've done that. I've gotten better at doing doses. It's just better all around. You get better one-on-one time. Maybe quality time is your love language. If you don't know your love language, go find out. Or don't, free will. 3 of Pentacles on the Wheel of Fortune. 2130. Wheel of Fortune. And this looks like the Fool. It's the 2 of Pentacles. But it looks, you know, like somebody getting their balance. Somebody had to get their balance so that they could come forward. They felt out of balance. Yeah, and that whole like cowboy thing, it's like, oh, you got a hitch in your giddy up. So maybe somebody, yeah, they felt like there was a hitch in their giddy up. They were kind of just going in circles, you know, like they like chasing their tail like a dog. False loyalty, Cancerian energy. Ace of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, somebody had to be a miser for a while. Somebody had to really save up and build up the courage. I was going to say Capricorn, but, and then Scorpio was just coming in there. Earth, fixed energy. But Leo is the one I was looking for. So there's like fire and earth, right? Because Leo is fixed fire, which is earth, fire. Yeah. Okay. Maybe the song by Cranberries, Linger. Because I was about to be like, what are you lingering for? People lingering around me. Malingering. Oh, these came out in reverse and upside down. Scorpionic energy, Libra, King of Swords, 3 of Swords. We have death, justice, King of Swords. Okay, so karma took care of something. There's a past cycle. We don't need to talk about that. Maybe somebody was lingering in somebody's energy here. A past karmic energy was lingering. And that was interfering with this communication, this coming forward. Because, yeah, somebody's in the King of Pentacles, Taurus energy. And then we have Temperance there, wanting to come out. And the 2 of Cups again. That was reluctant to come out. So Temperance, maybe somebody, maybe a Sagittarius or someone with Sagittarius placements or something in Sagittarius season. But that is tempering. Tempering is that faith, right? It's relying on faith. And the 4 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. Somebody was not coming in with any sort of stability or stable offer. They were afraid to commit. They, you know, typical runner. Same old story. You're not that original. Put that Queen in the Queen of Cups in reverse. So yeah, someone could definitely have Cancerian placements. 8 of Pentacles. So it's like the masculine was like, okay, all right, let me try again. Hi ho, it's off to work I go. Maybe somebody had to leave town. Because I get that somebody, you know, walking away. And the Lovers at the bottom here. Ooh, the Lovers. I just got, like I just got the Willies. Maybe somebody's name is Will or Bill. William. Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. Maybe somebody's coming back with a tan. All right. But anyway, the feminine is here. They don't see this coming. There's a little bit of anxiety there. The world, somebody's traveling to this feminine. It's the end of deception. Oh, but the feminine, you're not going to expect this at all, because the Knight of Swords, the one that's coming in, that's rushing in, is in reverse. So in the feminine's mind, they don't even see this coming. And I got the kind of like, eh. So maybe somebody's going to kind of come up behind you and do this and get their fingers broken. Don't do that shit. But no, maybe you're okay with that. But maybe somebody's going to kind of, it'll be a surprise. And I feel like the masculine's pretty giddy about it, because I was just pulling from the masculine deck. So it's like the masculine's pretty giddy about this, and they're like, yeah. So maybe the masculine, the masculine found something out that gave them the confidence to do this, because they went from being very reluctant, halted tongue, not feeling like they could get their words right, to like almost like they know this is going to be well received. Justice, karma. Yep. There's something about justice and karma here, Libra. Oh, sorry, this is going to be really annoying. I hate ASMR videos. Because, yeah, it's obnoxious. But my throat's a little messed up. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, I just took that out. That would drive me crazy if I heard anybody else doing that. Or like people will have the microphone right here, and it's, you can hear everything. You can hear every time they gulp. You can makes me panic. Someone could be an R list here. An R list means that you are very sensitive to sound. You're typically aroused by sound. Now, arousal can mean just that your senses are aroused. Someone could have Taurus placements because they are the most central of the zodiac. 11-11, Four of Wands, Virgo energy here with the Hermit, Four of Swords. Yeah, maybe somebody's just like, doesn't like people, doesn't like being around people. Or they're scared of that. They could have just been in hermit mode for so long, so it's like they feel this sense of somebody kind of like social anxiety, social distortion. Queen of Cups again, and the World again. You do not see this coming, but it is coming in. Fixed energy. Somebody is fixed on you. It's like something with planes, but I get, you know, when a plane locks on its target, you know, that, what was that game I used to play that all the time with my brother? Pisces energy. And then we have the Five of Wands here. Yeah, there's a lot of, somebody has this sort of, what made them nervous, all the competition, or what they thought was competition, but this Queen of Cups isn't even looking at that. They're looking this way. So maybe this masculine thought that this feminine had other options or was dealing with other people, and they were like, oh, my ego can't handle that. Because they've dealt with that before. They've been juggled, they've been deceived. Maybe they've been deceptive too. I mean, it's self-deception. Whenever we experience that, we realize, oh, I was actually the one who was ignoring the signs, you know, hindsight and all that. And all that jazz. Roses are important here, because there's all these wands, and then there's this rose over here. Aquarius energy. Well, that's one of the Batmans. Michael Keaton is my favorite. He's a Virgo. But I believe that, that's why I say I believe, because I'm like, last I checked, They were a Virgo. Last I checked, Christian Bale, maybe the name Christian. We've been getting that name a lot. But this is like the coming of Christ in your own story of the divine masculine, right? That kind of represents that. The sun, you know, the return of the sun, the second coming. So this could be a reconciliation. Knight of Wands again, Chariot, Cancerian energy, and Sagittarius energy there. I mean, it's coming together, but I'm getting a seal. My lips are sealed. This might be a secret. This might be some kind of, yeah. Or maybe you just don't need to talk about it. It's just between you two. And there's something kind of precious about it. Like a rose on a grave there's something very quiet. Maybe you walk around cemeteries, or, you know, there's like a park or some sort of memorial. I was going to say maybe you meet at a funeral or something, or that's how you reconcile. This could be like a friend of the family or something, and there's some sort of reason that brings you back together, and it could be quite somber. But it's like, to me, it represents like the hope. What is that? A walk to remember. Someone could be a cancer survivor here, or have just lost a loved one, or maybe this person there could be a widow or widower here. And then that goes back to, you know, people who have been married are, I think it was particularly in regard to men, or maybe that's just what I remember, because that's what I deal with. Deal with men. But men who have been married are like twice as likely, or like 80-something% more likely to, I don't know the stats, but you can Google them if you care. They're just more likely to remarry. So that could be that sense of somebody could have been in a very long-term marriage or partnership, but they're still it's very new to them. It's very precious to them, just because they went through some sort of heartbreak, some sort of loss, whether that was because of infidelity, or they grew apart, or whatever. All the reasons that relationships end are usually pretty sad and somber, because there was hope there in the beginning, or at some point, that, you know, things would turn out okay. And then they don't, and it's, for whatever reason, it's whatever expectation you had in your mind, your dreams are all sort of crushed, and you have to face the unfortunate reality of the situation. Wow, this is like some heavy energy. But yeah, you've been through a lot of loss, but you both are perfectly matched. More Wands energy. You're perfectly matched here. And there will be a lot of healing here as well, because of your mutual experiences, your previous experiences. Prior experience, somebody could be interviewing for something. And see now, okay, so now I'm going to do this. Okay, so you know what? There was a reluctance there to look at these Disney cards, and then they've been looking at me like, you know, you want to look at us. There's something in here for you. And I think this is the last hope, or only hope, because I'm getting a walk to remember. Mandy Moore, the alliteration. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name at all. Anyway, I thought it might come to me. But the guy that plays in A Walk to Remember, maybe look it up, his sign, his name, there could be a synchronicity there for you. But yeah, the only hope. So I lift my hands and pray. See, somebody prayed for this. They wished upon a star. Right now I see a chemtrail being laid. So beautiful. 6-9 pastries. Somebody's Scottish. There's the red hair energy again. And then we also have the dark-haired female here. But the pastries, those look good as hell. 9 and 6. There's something mirroring you. You are mirrors to each other. You're going to mirror each other. It's like seeing yourself in a mirror. You might look completely different, right? unless you're in Alabama. No, poor Alabama. But there's, yeah, and it could be a family reunion, right? It could be like at a family reunion, a friend of a family or something, you know. Maybe your in-laws or something. So there could be some sort of relation, but it's not that kind of relations. But I am getting that there's like a family involved, family around. This person wants you to be in their family or around their family. So somebody could feel very much orphaned. 10 in reverse with the brass. See, there's that brass instruments, metallic. Somebody wears like metals. I was gonna say heavy metal. Somebody could listen to heavy metal. With the gator here, you know, he's always been looking for someone to play with, but nobody wants to play with him because he's a big, scary alligator. And then Tia's here with the, I think her name's Tia, with with the frogs. But even the prince was, cut off from his parents, so he had to like earn a living. But the feminine could be quite a powerhouse in the kitchen. I was getting that if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. And then now I'm cold again. But this is kind of like believe in the dream again. This is, 10s in reverse with the brass there. It's breath. So could be the 10 of swords. We had the 10 of swords before, the end of deception. Somebody's ending deception. And yes, believing in the fucking fairy tale. The 2. I think you're gonna dance maybe with that going in circles. Yeah, someone could have a hitch in their giddy up, or someone has been looking for somebody. I'm getting like somebody just going in circles, and they've been looking for somebody to kind of come into their orbit and lead them. So like maybe somebody could just have 2 left feet kind of thing. Maybe they're not a good dancer. Maybe you're gonna meet there and this person's gonna say, hey, can we dance? And you're like, oh no, I can't dance. And you can dance. You've been told you didn't know how to love. You've been told you didn't know how to dance. You've been told a lot of things that you were not, and that you couldn't, and you wouldn't, and you shouldn't. And this person's gonna show you, no, you actually are a beautiful dancer. You just haven't had a leader. This emperor's gonna come in and say, let's stick together. I see you guys dancing in the kitchen, making food. Yeah, maybe you've just never had somebody that you can, if you watch people, especially like older couples or, like friends who, roommates or whatever, maybe you grew up with a lot of siblings and you just had one bathroom, you kind of all kind of sync up your rhythms, and everyone kind of works its way out. And you just don't often see that, but it's like, I see somebody sitting back and watching Fools Rush In, where he's kind of sitting back and there's this family. She has a big family and he doesn't. His family doesn't get together. They're not very close. Kind of cold, analytical. And then her family's like all fire. They're Latin, passionate, spicy. They all give each other a hard time. And there's like all of this love there. And it's like one of you has never experienced that. In Bed of Roses, she's like, you want a child and you have family, and I don't have a family. I have nothing to offer. But then she comes to realize through, I think, the story of Sleeping Beauty. In Bed of Roses, her friend works with children, children in the system and all of that. So somebody could work with children or be a teacher or some sort of like mentor, or again, have children, but somebody's good with children, I feel. A lot of compassion, a lot of understanding. This person's going to understand your inner child. But her friend runs this program that works with kids, and then they put on a play, and this girl who's very shy and, she's had a really rough upbringing. Of course, the, main character is like it's a parallel to that, of course, it's a movie, so it's like, but she experiences this sort of healing. There's this breakthrough moment where she's like, I can accept love. And somebody's like, I can accept it. I believe I can. Who says that? I can. I mean, Thomas the Train, maybe the name Tom or Thomas, but again with the alliterations. What is that? The master has come back. Somebody like is getting their magic power there. They just get their wand and they're like, my arm is complete again. They understand it, you know. Sweeney Todd, Johnny Depp, Gemini. I believe he's a Gemini. Last I checked, but the Matrix may have received an update. I just glitched on Matrix there. Yeah, somebody's like getting their power and they're understanding that they are a master manifester, that they actually have the power to shift this paradigm, and it feels like an aha moment, an epiphany, and somebody comes back in and says, I actually am worthy of this love. Not only am I worthy of it, like I was born to love you, I was born to kiss you, I was born to hold you. Yeah, so I'm getting two sides. The feminine could be the one coming back, or the masculine could be the one coming back. You know, depending on who the runner was. Let's pull from the energy centers. See, now I'm hotter than crap. Hot, cold. Maybe somebody was hot, cold, hot, cold. They were in and out. They were like reactive to this love. I can't deal with this. I can't accept this. This is too big for me. This is too good for me. Somebody felt like they weren't good enough, and I set aside my own desires when necessary to support and serve others. Yeah, somebody works with a community. Maybe somebody operated at a very selfish frequency, and it's like they're going, you know what? This challenge of mine, I was actually put here to have this challenge so that I could help others. So that's a life purpose thing, and this love is going to be a part of that. But I think somebody's going to see something in you that you didn't see in yourself. And through each other, through mirroring each other, you're going to see yourselves. More Scottish as well. I don't remember her name, but there was a woman who did a TED Talk. And she talked about a true mirror. A true mirror. I'm butchering that, sorry. But yeah, more with the Scottish. And I just love the way she says it. I used to say Mira. So maybe somebody says Mira, or their name is Mira, or Vera, or something that rhymes with Mira, because we got all these rhyming things in here. Stevie Nicks, the name Steve, the name Nick. Threads and bobbins, thread the needle. There's that laser focus. But I'm getting edge of 17. 17 here with the Cinderella story is very important here. The Cinderella story, believe in it again. The bear, again, the bear is a very important thing here. Someone could be a mama bear, but this is maybe brother bear. Someone could have a sibling that's a Virgo, right? Bear is a Native American zodiac for Virgo, that's why I say that. And we have the Four of Swords, the Hermit, coming out multiple times, which is Virgo energy. Somebody is finally coming out, and they're going to do it right. Because if they're coming in that Virgo energy, that's somebody who has looked at everything. They have thought about every angle. Sometimes give your services for nothing, calling to mind a previous benefaction or present satisfaction. Hippocrates. Hip Hop Anonymous? Hip Hop Anonymous? What is that? Big Daddy? Oh, Big Daddy. And that also is in Princess and the Frog. Oh, tell a Big Daddy. She calls her dad Big Daddy. Which, whatever. You know, we're all, yeah. It's all Oedipal, Freudian nonsense out there anyway. So take that how you will. Yeah, there could be an age difference or something. So maybe that's kind of, you know, no kink shaming here. Maybe that's your thing. Hi, Papi. You know, or maybe that's your thing. 10 of Swords. End of deception. I'm done denying who I am. I'm done denying what I want, what I desire, what I dream. I'm done denying my heart. Here I am. And I was just listening to UB40. Maybe somebody's 40. UB40? I've got the cup, or I've got the something. Bring me your cup. When you're empty, I'll fill you up. Something, something till the sun comes up. Could be a sunrise or sunset. Like maybe it'll be something where you're through the night, you're spending time from the sunrise to sunset, or sunset to sunrise. Maybe vice versa. Maybe you just want to spend every sunrise and sunset together. You're the last person I want to see when I go to sleep, and you're the first person I want to see when I wake up. I love that. That's 10 of Pentacles. That's growing old together. That's holding wrinkly ass hands together. You know, putting arthritis balms on each other. You know, like, you are going to see each other, and this is a privilege. And I think that somebody was kind of maybe just grossed out by it. Like, oh, maybe they only dated younger, right? Maybe the name Leo. We did have the Revenant coming out, or somebody is a Leo. But yeah, it's like, there's something very beautiful about growing old. Maybe this person was like clinging to the ideas of the past or something. And maybe their player ways or something. And then they just said, you know what? I don't want that. I actually want to grow old with somebody. I want to appreciate somebody. I want all the important things that really feed my soul. And I'm just done with that. When you're empty, yeah, I really feel like you're going to be so kind and generous with each other. This love is a very generous, it's selfless service. Acts of service is very important. Somebody's love language could be acts of service, or, you know, I mean, when we're balanced and healthy, we receive and express through all the 5 forms, right? 5 senses, but 5 forms of love. Acts of service, gift giving, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. I think that's 5. Yeah, somebody was deprived of these things. 5 of Pentacles, 5. I'm getting 5 of Pentacles. Somebody was deprived of these things. You know, and it's actually very healing to hug. Maybe this person has not been hugged in a while. Oh, I feel like you're gonna probably embrace and hold each other, and maybe just like release a lot. You might laugh, like you might just giggle and cry, and like be surprised by the emotions that come up. What am I looking for? Oh wow, if it was a snake it would have bit me. More scorpionic energy there. If I was a snake, I would have bit me. Repeating that cycle. Somebody's done with the cycle. Somebody's done with it. It's not satisfying. It's not nourishing. Somebody wants to be nourished, and they're coming for that nourishment. I've got them. Bring me your cup. When you're empty, I'll fill you up till the sun comes up. And what's that little that sound in the background? I don't know if you know what that instrument is. Let me know. But somebody could play that, or you could be listening to that. You could be like, you know, like a tiki lounge or something themed like that. Because I just get that sort of tropical, the sun, like the pink skies, orange skies, really beautiful sunrises and sunsets wherever you are. You could be by water, you could be in the desert, because we did have that kind of Western going there. But it's going to be like a dream. It's going to be like a movie. Believe in the fairy tale. Believe in the fairy tale. Because it's going to be all those things. It's like also Pixar, the movie Up. Till the sun comes up. But there, and see, she's like a very sassy woman. That's one of the best clips of any movie ever, is the first, 10 minutes of the movie Up. And again with the balloons. But this is like where I was seeing the balloons, like as a result of the party, the weekend and all of that. House of Balloons are all on the floor in the bathtub, and it's like the after party. This is like somebody is leaving that lifestyle. Somebody's leaving the whole bitches and hoes and drugs and money and blah, 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 or whatever. Somebody just could, like, somebody could have just been kind of a hooligan, you know, and fast life, you know, and this is very slow. This is that slow burn. It lasts a long time. Somebody followed their lower passions, but it's like they're realizing that those challenges, those same things that led them to that lifestyle, if they were focused on something, they would be able to weave an entire tapestry. Also the tapestry from, because the thread and needle, that laser focus, the thread and needle, the tapestry in Brave, in the movie Brave. There's a lot of Leo energy here. Some masculine is coming in with the heart space, that chariot, Cancerian energy, the sun and the moon. It's like night and day, day and night. Kid Cudi, you're gonna be in each other's space all the time. Until death do you part. This is the most tried and true person you're ever gonna meet. And you thought that you couldn't believe in that. You thought that there was no way that that was ever actually out there, and like a fairy tale, like a prayer, Madonna. Life is a mystery. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name. This person might call your name. And it feels like home. And it's that floating sensation where we're going off into another land together. You're always going to kind of be in your own world together. No matter who's around you, what chaos, whatever's going on, you're in your own world. Also, she's never been kissed. You've never been kissed like this. This is going to be the best kiss. The kiss to rule all kisses. One kiss to rule kiss all the kisses. Like, maybe you thought you've been kissed. Maybe you thought you've been. I've kissed a guy. I've kissed guys. Pisces. I've just never had that, felt that thing. And another woman goes, that thing? Like, what are you talking about? And also Madonna sings Like a Virgin. This is going to feel like the first time. Feels like the first time. Somebody's got a lot of soul here. Music is very important. I see you guys dancing. I see people looking at you. Hopefully in not jealousy, but envy, if anything, where it's just, I want that too, you know. But there will be people who are, you know, gross about it, low about it, and there are going to be people. But I think the way that you two move around each other, like, even if people are like, oh, they're so disgusting, get a room or whatever. If they have that, I think that they'll come around because you're both so endearing. I just love both of your energies. It's like you're both a lot of fun to be around, and maybe you weren't for a long time. So there's probably some friends and tried and true connections on the outside that are going to see this and be very happy for you both, because I haven't seen them this happy ever. This is the happiest I've ever seen them, and they're such a good person, and we've been wanting this for them. We've been trying, maybe they've tried to, like, you know, match them up with people. It never worked out, and they're just like, is this person going to just be a bachelor or a bachelorette for the rest of their life? And they want this for you because they know that's what you really desire, because they're your actual friends, and you probably told them enough, and they know you well enough to know that this is what you want. Yeah, but this is a very fun, light, just devil may care. That's what I'm getting. Like, this love is so free. It's so freeing that there is no room for fear. There's no room to care what anyone else is thinking or speaking. And I'm the breakthrough. I'd love to know what that breakthrough is. But we'll save that for another reading. Maybe I'll start doing like parts, breaking them up in parts. I'm never going to charge for a general reading, okay? If you want a personal reading, that's that way. And everything you need to know if you do want to contribute or whatever is down below in the description box. But no, you're never going to get, there's never going to be like, pay me for the part 2. No, these are general readings. Anyway, I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Maybe someone's just tuning in. But for those of you who have been with me for a while, or you were with me on my other channel, my previous channel, may she rest, that channel. Then, you know, yeah, I'm never going to do that. So I don't know, someone needed that assurance, and maybe that translates into this connection where it's like, I'm never going to intentionally hurt, I'll never hurt you intentionally, right? You can't make that claim that you're never going to hurt someone's feelings because you have no control over somebody's feelings. It's not your responsibility anyway. But I'm never going to intentionally harm you. And I'm very cognizant, and I care about you so much that, like, I'm not going to put myself in positions where it could lead to something else, right? Because infidelity is never just a one-time thing. It's a series of choices. You choose to spend a little bit longer at work. You choose to allow the conversation to go in a certain direction. You choose to become intoxicated, or you're never just like, whoops, I tripped and fell into someone else. Okay, so, you know, this person is like, I'm not even going to put myself in that position. This feels like a very fiercely loyal individual here. Fierce with the Lion energy, fixed energy, and Taurus. You know, I've met a lot of Tauruses that make this statement not true, but Taurus is one of, if not notoriously noted as the most loyal of the zodiac. They have like that same possessive or stubborn nature also makes them very fixed in their connections. Like if you have the loyalty or the trust of a Taurus, you're locked in for life, baby, until you fuck up. And it usually takes a few times before that. Well, not if loyalty is broken, usually. But anyway, now I'm just rambling. I'm gonna call it channeling. And somebody's a jokester here. This is a jokey thing. It's very fun. It makes me want to like get out there now and I'm here, darling. Where are you? Anyway, knock knock. Yeah, maybe somebody tells like dad jokes. Someone's kind of silly or whatever, of any age. Maybe somebody had a good relationship with their father, or like they had a grandfather or something there that told a lot of jokes like that, and so they have that kind of like, yeah, someone has an old soul, very old soul. Both of you could, but I feel like there's a contrast, and somebody has a little bit of a newer, there's something newer, fresher about the other person that needs the guidance and the leadership here. And that could be age, emotional, experience, energy, lifetimes, right? How many cycles you've been here. Okay, I think that's it for now. So thank you. And until next time, I wish you well.